Hey everybody, excuse me. So I kind of took an old project and I looked up the file for it and I made another version of it just to give a little bit of animation. I don't even know what possessed me to do it. I just wanted to get into it and see what else I could do here. So I created a new variable. This is a global variable. I guess it doesn't have to be, it can be specific to this one, but I'm kind of glad I made it global within this class anyways, because I ran into a problem when I made it global, and I discovered how to fix that problem. So this initially said GLM vector 3 TC, and then instead of the word numRows in there, which is defined up top, which is 60, there's 60 rows, it had the number 40 in there, and I noticed that it was used in the function reset colors. And what I noticed about this was because what was happening was I was using, maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but I was using this new variable called another variable. I initially called it radius multiplier, but I changed the name to troubleshoot. Anyways, so that variable, I did not have the animation going, and the variable was being overridden. And I thought, what would cause that to be overridden? And if you look at the placement of the variable here, it was the very last variable that I had declared, and it was right after this array. So I thought, well, this array is being overrun in the code, and it's just overriding that variable in a really weird way. So then I went back to where that particular array is being used, and it was right in here. So it was right here. And I noticed it was adding this number, it was cycling through and adding the j onto it, which didn't actually work. It would, because the end of the thing is right there. So so the memory was being overridden. So as this was 40, and that loop with the variable I plus j was the array access before I changed it to just I. So then it was going, this was only 40, and it was accessing 0 through 59, which is clearly beyond the scope of this one. So I was clearly having another memory leak, and it must be the extra memory area that the compiler set aside for memory that wasn't doing anything because it was being affected. So anyways, that is not why I made the video, although that was a good learning lesson. The other learning lesson is to comment your code really well, because I went back to this old project and it hasn't been that long that I've used it, and I completely forgot what everything was, because first of all, creating the maze and doing the sphere code was, the combination of those two things was complex enough to where, looking back on it now, I need more comments in this code. So anyways, long story short now, as far as what I added this time. So I just added this one line where a note var equals 2.0 plus 0.5 times the cosine of time. So the cosine of time, that's going to vary between -1 and 1. So with a 0.5 in there, that means it's going to vary from -0.5 to 0.5. Times by 2, that means it's going to vary, or plus 2, excuse me. So that means, excuse me, it's going to vary from 1 to 2, and that's what I wanted. So, and then the result is this right here. So as it shrinks down to 1, it goes to there. As it goes back out, it goes to there, and you just kind of get this really cool effect. So let's take a good screenshot there. When it's zoomed out, that's nice. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.